Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. They're telling me today's program is canceled because of rain. So instead, we've got, what is this? Night Court? Night coming up next. I was kidding. There's Mr. Drew. I think it's pronounced Brees. The card says Brees, NFL quarterback or something like that. Anyway, thanks for that introduction, Mr. Brees. Corey Johnson back at you. This guy's successful, apparently. Owns Jimmy John's and what else? Wow. Walk-ons. What else? Untuck It. Little piece of that. I'd sell my Untuck It little piece. I think Untuck It's just going to disappear in about 5 or 10 years when just a few other actual shirt makers make some shirts that are designed to be untucked, which I'm sure is already happening. Or you can choose the Untuck It brand shirt designed by the dude in the commercial. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Yeah, you right. Where New Orleans talks. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Yeah, you right. 93.9 FM. We're on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Lots of choices how you can check us out. 107.9 FM. 600 AM. Boy, a powerful little AM signal. I know a lot of you don't go over to the AM band. Some new automobiles do not even have AM available in the car. You can't go to AM in some new vehicles. But you lucky folks that can, you can take the program with you on the road. 600 AM goes from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida, especially on a cloudy, rainy day like this where AM signals even go farther. So 93.9 FM. 107.9 FM, 600 AM, our radio lineup. Got a couple of ways to check us out on television all over Louisiana. Cox Television subscribers, I'm on Cox Channel 4 weekday afternoons at 4. It's that simple. Cox Channel 4, Yorview, Louisiana, weekday afternoons at 4. I'm on Spectrum. You Charter Spectrum TV subscribers in Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333, the neutral ground, 4 to 5:30 weekdays, 90 minutes fun. Yeah, you right. Thursday afternoon, rainy. A lot of rain the last few days. In a few minutes, Ghassan Korban's going to join us from the Sewage and Water Board. It's about 10 minutes away, the executive director. Find out how things have been going over there the last few days. And last 3 out of 5 days or so, some insanely torrential rain at times, inches of rain in short periods of time. Anyway, the Sewage and Water Board director about 10 minutes away on the program. Hey, there's another way or two to check out the program. CoreyTalks.com. Live streaming. Take the show with you on the road. CoreyTalks.com. And we're on YouTube now. Go to the search bar, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. Yet another way to check out the program. And when you do go to YouTube, click to subscribe, would you? It don't cost nothing. The notification bell, the thumbs up, click on all that stuff. 4 o'clock hour this afternoon. On radio, on television, on YouTube, live streaming, brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. Boy, is Lebanon's Cafe good. Authentic. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans can be found at Lebanon's Cafe. I love the sides. The tabbouleh is really, really good. It's hard to describe. It's just cracked wheat, Bulgar wheat, and parsley, and some tomatoes and cucumbers with lemon and olive oil and salt and a little black pepper, and it's just really good. Really good. A little salad type thing. It's served cold. And then I get a fried football kibbe. Looks like a little football, just like this. This thing right here would be a perfect fried football kibbe. Anyway, the fried kibbe's fantastic. baba ganoush, tabbouleh, hummus, mujedra, lentil soup, Lebanon's Cafe. Don't forget the shish kebab and the lamb chops. Lebanon's Cafe, 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. On a wet and rainy Thursday, be careful out there. Different parts of town getting crushed by rain. Some parts of town not getting hit at all. Folks that drive around doing delivery, working in a vehicle, driving through town. You go through cells. It's crazy. Torrential downpour, just like barely can drive, come out of it, and you're like, man, the street's not even wet here. And then you look in the ahead and you see torrential rain. It's crazy. That's just how it bees in South Louisiana. Summertime, thunder showers. Some can be pretty torrential. Pretty sick video of this ATV running. This guy, Reginald Hamilton, his friend Kurt Blanchard, a couple of 18-year-olds in Plaquemines, illegally riding their ATVs. Plaquemines police chasing them. They got him kind of cornered going over that bridge, I guess, by Woodland. You know, you're on the bridge. It's about, from beginning to end, that bridge is about, well, I don't want to say a mile, a good half mile from beginning to end, a half mile, maybe a little more than a half mile. And there's no way out. You enter it from one end, you exit it on one end. And a deputy at his car pulled over, got out, and is like flailing his arms, and the ATV just runs him over. Deputy Edmund Fisher. No, just a sick video. We'll talk about that. No, and the family of Reginald Hamilton want the 18-year-old out of jail. It's just like, seems pretty cut and dried what went down here. You have, even though they're kids, 18 years old, I don't know if you want, those are adults, can go fight in a war and vote. Buy an AR-15 if you want. Running over a deputy and being pursued by sheriff deputies. I don't know. This one seems pretty cut and dried. Attorney General Merrick Garland said the Justice Department has asked for the Mar-a-Lago search warrant to be unsealed, released to the public. This is pretty strong from the Attorney General of the United States. He basically cites a few things. One, Trump's confirmation of the search that Trump's calling a raid. We had another edition of Hillier and Hennigan on, yesterday's program. Quinn Hillier and Ellis Hennigan, and we're asking him exactly that question. I think I worded it a raid or a search. Facts are politically motivated. Merrick Garland releasing it like, hey, look at what we had. This is what we based it on. This is the info I based it on. Personally approving the search warrant. Kind of like wants the public to see it. Pretty interesting. Yeah, talking the talk. We'll see if he walks the walk when it is, if and when it's released. A New Orleans second city court deputy, that's on de Bank, Algiers, suspended without pay for not leaving a French Quarter detail to assist a woman who was getting raped in the quarter. Just sort of ignored the plea from one woman begging, you're a cop, you're armed, you have a badge, come help. I'm busy working this detail. Not really interested in helping the woman getting raped. You're in law enforcement. It's sick enough when just like, this is a sheriff deputy, the security guard in New York in that store where that Asian woman was walking and the guy that just got out of jail attacked her and started beating her, and the security guard just stands there and there's someone behind the security guard shooting video of it. No one runs out flailing their arms. No one runs out and tries to tackle the crazy criminal beating up the poor elderly woman. And just insane. Let's shoot video. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ghassan Korban's going to join us from the Sewerage and Water Board next on the program. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning. I know a lot of you put on a shirt, a blouse, dress, mom, dad, man, woman, and there's a button missing or the collar's not right or there's just a ridiculous wrinkle. Someone didn't do their job and you can't wear it. It's frustrating. Back to the dry cleaner. Young's Dry Cleaning will take care of you. If you're tired of your dry cleaner and you want to experience the best, there's a New Orleans institution, a dry cleaner that's been at it since 1940. Check them out online, youngsdrycleaning.com. Lots of ways for them to get your dry cleaning done. youngsdrycleaning.com. Corey Johnson with you. Ghassan Korban next.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spots. NolaAC.com, your cool spots.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms, with high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Corey Johnson back at you on a wet and rainy Thursday afternoon in New Orleans, and then all of a sudden sunshine. Typical summer in New Orleans. Ghassan Korban joins us, Executive Director of your Sewage and Water Board in New Orleans. Ghassan, how are you?
Good. How are you, Corey?
Doing well. You ready for a quick, funny story?
Go ahead.
I send my Indian buddy, your name, and I'm just like, man, just to make sure, how do you pronounce this? He's like, dude, I think he's Arab. So then I do a little research, and then I send my text to my Indian buddy, dude, I'm Lebanese, and so is he. And I'm asking you how to pronounce his name. And then we got a big laugh out of that. I'm Syrian/Lebanese, Ghassan. So I didn't know you were a Lebanese boy.
I'm Lebanese, yes, indeed, 100%.
Now, you marry a Lebanese woman?
Oh, now that's getting a little personal.
Well,
no,
because someone's got to roll grape leaves and make pan kibbe and stuff like that.
Well, I'm a master at rolling grape leaves.
Wow!
So I've learned from the best from my mom.
Exactly. My mom's 91 and still can roll grape leaves and kibbe nay. That's
man, you're making my mouth water.
That raw kibbe's incredible. Anyway,
incredible.
I could talk about that. I go to Lebanon's Cafe a lot, not right down the street from a sewage and water board plant, right?
Yeah, very close. That's a very good, reputable place. I love that place.
Good, man. We'll have to meet over there sometime and enjoy some tabbouleh and lamb and shish kebab and all kind of good stuff.
Absolutely. I look forward to that.
Hey, you ready to jump into this?
Absolutely.
We got about 10 minutes. I got a bunch of questions. Now, okay. I guess I'm going to get the tough one out of the way quick. If someone asks me about you, I would say I love the hire. A guy who's got like 3 decades in this industry, an engineer. He's got multiple degrees, comes from outside of New Orleans, not some politically anointed person like the previous director. So I like that you're there. But I mentioned that to a buddy of mine, and he just went off. He's like, dude, they've been raided by the FBI. They dumped raw sewage during Ida. The old power turbines have to run water. Drainage pump breakdowns. Backup generators don't work at pump stations. The sewage treatment plant flooded. And then these major billing era continues. What do you like about this guy and the Sewage and Water Board? What would I tell him?
Well, I mean, all these things may have happened, but we're still running a very efficient utility. I can tell you that during Ida, specifically when our wastewater treatment plant flooded because of Mother Nature and because of a very, very significant event, we did not have any sewage backing up in anybody's homes because we responded very effectively and managed that situation. Yes, we did have a bypass, and we did in order to avoid that. We had two scenarios: either sewer backing up in somebody's house, or let it flow into the Mississippi River, which was condoned or allowed by our regulatory agencies at the state level, because it was one of those situations where you had no other choice. So It's very easy to be critical of what's happening in the utility. I mean, I invite anybody to come in and shadow us and see all the challenges, but yet all the successes that we continue to deliver.
You're not Dennis Allen taking over a Sean Payton Saints team. You're coming in, taking over a 2-14 ball club that's been 2-14 for decades and decades. That's what I told my buddy. I said, this has been a losing organization for decades, and it's going to take this guy a little while to turn around this absurdly losing organization. Is that a pretty accurate answer that I gave my friend?
That's a great analogy. Yes, absolutely. I'm probably the coach who took over the Saints when they were a losing team way back when. People forget, right? And then somebody turned that organization around and the team, and they are one of the best teams in the country. So, I mean, I love the analogy, and that gives me hope. Actually, I've met with the Saints team, and I got a lot of inspiration from them as how how they overcame so many challenges and turned the ship around, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Let me take that analogy. Let me take that analogy a step further, Ghassan.
Okay.
How do you take it to the next level? And I guess the NFL analogy at another level would be, I remember the coach Jerry Glanville. I don't know if you remember him or not. He'd come in and take like a losing team that was like 3-13. He could get them winning. He could get them like 500, maybe in the playoffs. And then another coach had to take them to the Super Bowl. Are you the guy that fixes the problem and someone else comes in, or can you take the sewage and water board all the way to the Super Bowl?
Well, that remains to be seen. My job is to get this utility way beyond the 500 mark. I mean, Super Bowl is our goal, and we are aiming high. We've just finished a strategic plan where every employee had an input into it. There was a universal commitment that we all need to be better because we're not satisfied with what we have. I'm building a team, just like any coach will build a football team. I'm finding talent in the right places. I'm finding the quarterbacks and the defensive ends and the receivers, putting them in the right places, and we are making a lot of improvements. An example beyond just the people that I'm finding that again are going to help me carry this mission forward. We're implementing a lot of good, meaningful projects. Whether it's in power, we're building a substation with Entergy. We're adding turbines. We're adding frequency changers. We are adding reliability and durability to our system as it will be as early as first quarter of 2024. I mean, think about this, that we're going to have a brand new source of power in a matter of 2 years. And then our old turbines that your friend was critical about will go away, will be decommissioned. No one in this utility wants to use these turbines, but that's all we have at this point. But we are intentionally replacing them, and it's imminent. It's not like 10 years or 20 years. This is 2 years from now. We have the smart meter program, automating our meters, so we're able to deliver timely and precise and accurate bills to everybody, 140,000 customers. That's going to take another 2 years. Pardon me. So there's a lot of things that are on many fronts that we are taking seriously. We feel the angst of our customers, and we know we want to do better. We want to do well with them, so we are right by them, and we're doing everything we can to expedite progress. So again, I'm happy to talk to people who are critical, to able to hear their perspective, but also an opportunity for me to share the challenges and the successes that we're experiencing.
Ghassan Korban's with us from the Sewage and Water Board for a few more minutes. Ghassan, I hear it from the politicians, even the president, talking the talk. Are they walking the walk? Are we getting, and I say we, the Sewage and Water Board, are we getting a few $1 billion from the feds?
So here's the truth about, all the federal assistance that, the IJA and all that is through assistance that didn't exist before. This current administration is delivering a new program to help investment in infrastructure unmatched. So that is a fact. However, when you really think about the amount of money that you start breaking it down to city levels and utility levels, really none of it becomes transformational. It becomes so little that only if this one plan is committed for the next 20, 30 years, where we can start planning in a steady and intentional fashion, it will make a difference. So this one plan alone, and I'm not critical of the intent and the spirit. It's awesome that we are where we are, but it cannot be enough to transform any utility, much less ours that has been neglected for so many
I think
years.
it's just replacing the transmission or the engine or the suspension or the interior of an old car. That's sort of what's going on. Yeah, Ghassan, I know you have to run. Why aren't we, and I say we again, the city of New Orleans, it's 17 years after Katrina, still not working with water. Not one retention pond dug. Mirabeau at St. Bernard Avenue, the linear one down Elysian Fields, not one shovel in the ground. How are we not digging retention ponds, kind of doing the golf course, method? We know a storm's coming, drain the water table into the river. And then you guys at the Sewage and Water Board are pumping out retention ponds an inch the first hour, a half inch every hour after that, instead of streets and neighborhoods. And heck, if it's an all-new retention pond system, you could fix up the old system and use it just for draining streets and neighborhoods, which, you'd barely be using it because all the water would be flowing naturally into the retention ponds, but not one dug.
Absolutely. You are spot on with that concept, and it's a very workable, very feasible idea. I believe that the city has started some of those projects. I failed to remember the exact locations, but I know we have 2 or 3. The Sewage and Water Board has about 9 smaller projects that we call them green infrastructure projects that take that water, like you described, temporarily and then slowly go into the system after a storm has subsided. We have to do a lot, and I mean a lot more, in a much, larger scale throughout the city. That requires funding, that requires real estate, requires possibly moving people out of the way to allow it to be done in a very sizable and meaningful, location or impact. So that's the path we're heading toward. But again, just like anything else, it requires planning. It requires lots of funding, but the will and the commitment is there. So I mean, you're right on. This is the city that will only survive and thrive in the future if we bring water to where it needs to go, and then allow us to live with water much more successfully than we are now.
Ghassan,
the future is bright, so I'm very hopeful.
I'll stick with the football analogy. Keep driving the ball down the field. Appreciate what you're doing, and Lebanon's Cafe on me whenever you want.
You name the time. I'll be there, my friend.
Thanks, Ghassan. I appreciate it.
Looking forward. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
That's Ghassan Korban of the Sewage and Water Board. Corey Johnson with You Don't Move.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix-fixe meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC, I got a cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. A little wet and rainy, depending on what part of town UB's in Metro New Orleans, in South Louisiana. Typical summertime stuff, but some parts of the city catching quite a wallop. I don't know, the last 3 out of 5 days, we've had some pretty torrential thunder showers at times, dumping inches of rain in a short period of time. If you missed the beginning of the program, you missed Ghassan Korban from the Sewerage and Water Board, the executive director. And I think the football analogy that I brought up was pretty accurate. You know, I think that this guy has took over a team that's 2-14. It was the old Saints. And not even like the Dick Nolan, Hank Stram, 7-9, 8-8 Archie Manning Saints that, boy, had a really good offense, just not a good defense, and were 500-ish close to the playoffs. Not even like that. Not like bums teams that were, field goal away from the playoffs. I'm talking like some of those Saints teams that had 2, 3, 4 victories, the 1-15 team. The Sewage and Water Board in New Orleans historically, like in my lifetime, that's all I can speak for, decades and decades and decades, half a century, very similar to the Orleans Parish Public Schools. A joke. More political than doing what they're supposed to do. People running it that have no idea what they're doing. I mean, Ghassan Korban gets the gig. You want to know who the other finalist was? Some city of New Orleans attorney. Some city of New Orleans attorney. I'm sure someone smart and maybe could get the job done, but that seems more like the appointed, anointed, Cedric Grant type crap that Ghassan Korban's cleaning up. And the Cedric Grant crap before him and the guy before him and the hack before him and the hack before him that know nothing about the Sewage and Water Board. Ghassan Korban's got multiple degrees in engineering and water management and stuff like that. Educated on this. He's got 30 years in the Milwaukee system after graduating from Marquette, went right into that. I'm glad he's from Milwaukee. I'm glad he has nothing to do with New Orleans and our traditions and our politics and how things work and none of that. He just goes to the Sewage and Water Board. He's like Jim Mora coming in when Jim Finks took over. And it's and no, LaToya Cantrell's not Jim Finks. And he's trying to rebuild just to, build something. So I see some improvements. I live right in that neighborhood, right in the Pigeon Town, Carrollton neighborhood, right there. I can't throw a baseball into the Sewage and Water Board property from my house, but maybe somebody with a good arm could. I could hit some wedge 9-iron into the property from my yard probably. So I'm pretty darn close. I see what they do. I see the progress they're making. Anybody, it doesn't matter, I live near them. You can do it yourself. Go look. I see the power plant going up on Monticello and Plaquemines. I've seen the 2 water towers go up the last 5-6 years or so. I saw Plaquemines perfectly finished and the Sewage and Water Board going in there and ripping it up. I drive on the neutral ground when I go down Plaquemines by the parish line by the Sewage and Water Board. You heading from Uptown or Orleans Parish over to the Lowe's right there by the parish line. You got to go up on the neutral ground when you're coming out of there back to Uptown. So a lot of work going on at the Sewage and Water Board. No, and then hopefully, eventually, they get their own power and they get off the turbines and some major improvements. But you heard Ghassan Korban, and I'm not patting my own self on the back. It's simple. It's kindergarten. I'm a friggin' talk radio TV host. Not the dullest tool in the shed. I'm not the sharpest. Retention ponds, just thought, I saw one maybe like Franklin and Mirabeau, something like that. Like a corner lot where maybe some blighted house was torn down and they dug a hole and put some pampas grass and, it takes some flood water when it rains. I like that. There should be a few hundred of those around the city and a few dozen major projects. I mean, look at the Earhart Expressway around the Clearview exit. Look at that's just to get water off the Earhart Expressway. That's not even to like drain River Ridge or Harahan or Elmwood. That's strictly just to get water off the Earhart Expressway. Look at the Earhart Expressway at Causeway. These big water retention ponds are there. It's gravity. Sir Isaac Newton, the apple falls off the tree and hits you in the head. I mean, we still work against water instead of working with it. It's mind-boggling. We should have retention ponds all over the city. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't connect them into the existing system. You kind of bubble gum, paperclip, MacIver, Band-Aid. You get the original system working as well as it can, the one that drains streets and neighborhoods. And then the retention pond system has its own pumps and own outlets going into the river. And that's its own system. So the original systems, like the Beast system, like somehow, some way, the retention ponds are overwhelmed. It would have to be totally catastrophic. You have enough retention ponds, you're never pumping water out of the streets and neighborhoods of New Orleans. Never. It's all flowing nicely into these retention ponds that were drained the night before the big storm was coming in, and you're draining an inch an hour the first hour, an inch the first hour, and a half inch every hour after that out of retention ponds instead out of streets and neighborhoods. It's real simple. I was going to say golf courses do it. Quality golf courses do it. Bad golf courses are like New Orleans. They just go into water when it rains. The more expensive, nicer, thought-out golf courses, they have all these ponds around the golf courses. The fairways and your ball, if you don't hit them right, flow right into the water. They check the weather report. Oh, wow, we're supposed to get 2 inches of rain maybe in the area tomorrow. They drain those retention ponds into canals, rivers, outlets around the course. And then when it rains, that water just flows into these basically empty retention ponds ready to absorb the water. And the golf course that they spent millions of dollars on is high and dry, protected, ready for play, not flooded out or damaged. No, you can regulate those retention ponds. It would be the same concept in the city. It's just unbelievable. It really is. It's 17 years after Katrina, and I just mentioned a few of the plans. I don't have the whole plan in front of me, but a big one's like Mirabeau at St. Bernard Avenue, that old like nun home or whatever. I don't know how many acres that is. It's a lot. 10, 12, 15, 20 acres. I don't know. It's a big piece of property. That was supposed to be like a big retention pond, park, pathway thing. And then Elysian Fields, the entire neutral ground, which nothing's done on it. Supposed to be a big linear, jogging path, walking path, linear stream kind of retention pond thing to help drain the lakefront, Gentilly, going all the way into the 7th, 8th, 9th ward, basically. It's unbelievable. I don't see a shovel in the ground anywhere in New Orleans. We continue to work against the water and not work with the water. Even like things, these $14 billion in projects, there's a few billion of them, like the levee on Hain Boulevard out in New Orleans East. That's great. Great flood wall. You feel safe and protected down in New Orleans East. But it wasn't designed with man or woman in mind. Without spending any more money, just a little bit of architecture, engineering thought. Let's make it where you can sit up there and have benches and you can jog and walk up there and enjoy the view of the lake, because 999 days out of 1,000, it's not holding back floodwaters, protecting the neighborhood. It's just sitting there doing nothing. And it's more of a block the view of the lake, block the lake from the citizens instead of embracing the lake and having a view and things like that. We just don't think those things through. It's sort of mind-boggling. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. Area code 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. I think we've knocked out just about all the trivia except the port question. Only Catholic Black University in America, Xavier, that went quickly. 3 tunnels, we got that one answered yesterday. The Homa Tunnel with Harvey and Bell Chase, 3 tunnels in Louisiana. Which southern state has the most Indian tribes with 18? Florida was a good guess, but it's Louisiana, 18 Indian tribes. Where was the clock in Mid-City that said time to plant? Reuter's Nursery, we got that answer yesterday. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, how did trucks access the port? We got that answer. 5 major ports in Louisiana. Name 4 of the 5 major ports. And I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. I'm going to help you and give you one of the 4 that you need. 4 of 5. I'll give you one. Port of New Orleans. Brandy Christian is going to join us next week. The president, CEO, Port of New Orleans. She'll join us on the program next week. Fired up about that. If you missed the beginning of the program, you missed Ghassan Korban joining us with the Sewage and Water Board. You can check that out after the fact on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. As a matter of fact, you can check out the program right now on YouTube. You can check out Laitram's website right now. Laitram spelled Laitram. They've got a complete listing of positions available, and it's dozens and dozens of jobs available. Go to their website right now, Laitram.com. Laitram.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30. And they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC, that kind of cool spot.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Name 4 of the 5 major ports in Louisiana, and I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. You know there are 4 area Woodhouse Day Spas to serve you. You can find out more online, NOLA.woodhousespas.com. 4 area Woodhouse, a 5th Woodhouse coming online in the next few months. The Woodhouse Day Spa Mandeville location. Yeah, you're right. That'll be a second North Shore location. They're already in Slidell, I-10 at Gauze. Throw in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. They've got that North Shore, I-10, I-12 corridor covered. And then down here on the South Shore, they're in Metairie by North Kenner, Transcontinental at West Esplanade. And they're in Mid-City, New Orleans. Convenient for a lot of folks. Canal Street at Carrollton. Man, these Woodhouse Day Spas are impressive. They're like private clubs, plush and luxurious, but they're open to the public, and they got all the services you want. I've been to the Woodhouse Day Spa a few times, and I could use it right now to get these shoulders worked down, a nice massage. And guys, like I've said before, the women love a day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com, or I'll get you jump started with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. There are 5 ports, major ports in Louisiana. Name 4 of the 5. And I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. A New Orleans second city court deputy, that's Algiers, suspended without pay for not leaving a French Quarter detail to assist a woman getting raped. You know, I find it just mind-blowing when I saw that video from, I guess, about a year and a half ago, that Asian woman in New York. And some criminal who was like 37, 38, just got out of jail, like a 10, 15-year stint, mentally ill, attacks this, big old guy, attacks this little 90-pound woman, elderly woman on the street. And there's a security guard in the store watching it. Could just run right out. I think the door's open of the store. And the woman's up, there's like a 10-foot gap between the store to the incident, and the guard's about 10 feet from the door. He doesn't even run out waving his arms, yelling, nothing at all, just sits there and watches. And you can tell this because there's another loser behind the security guard who's shooting the video on his phone. And no one runs out, no one yells anything. It's unreal. I mean, my first reaction would be to run out. And if you're a security guard, it better be your first reaction. Or don't go be a security guard. It isn't about, hey, I'm a security guard and I have a gun and a badge and this little, some people joke it's a fake, I'm a fake cop, whatever. When the what goes down, wherever you're working, you have to react. It isn't about you anymore. It's you're different than all the people there. You're the security guard. You're supposed to protect the people there. Or don't go get the job. Don't get the job like I'm a lifeguard, but I'm not trained, so I hope no one drowns because they'll die. Go be a lifeguard and be prepared, be trained. So the 1 out of 1,000, the 1 out of 2,000, the 1 out of 3,000 days you're lifeguard, maybe you have to pull someone out the pool and know how to save them. Jeez and Pete's. Crazy. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Absolutely nutty. No, if you're a sheriff deputy and some woman is yelling frantically about a crime, you where, and you follow the woman or the person to where the crime's going down, especially when it's a woman getting raped. This deputy had really no time for that. Suspended without pay for not leaving his French Quarter detail to assist is a no-brainer. I think there should be, I think there's some criminal element to this. Like this deputy should be charged as a law enforcement person, off duty or not, a sworn law enforcement person. I think that's a crime, not reacting. Should go to jail for a little while to think about it. Lose the job for sure. Not cut out for the job. I mean, a human being, I'm calling everyone out. We all should react. I mean, unless you physically can't, you're elderly, you're crippled. Otherwise, if you're not reacting, at least vocally, you're trying to get help. They're shooting video and you're security guard. That's pathetic. You're the deputy, a city court. It could be the court deputy. Doesn't matter. You're a law enforcement official. You're carrying a gun. Suspended without pay for not leaving the French Quarter detail to assist a woman getting raped is a no-brainer. Losing the job is the second no-brainer. The third no-brainer should be a little jail time to think about it. Criminal. I think criminal behavior. It's a Thursday afternoon, kind of a little pre-weekend mentality for many, especially folks that don't work the usual Monday through Friday gig. Maybe you work Sunday through Thursday. Katie's in Mid-City. What a great place. I mean, you go in right now, the bar has just a nice vibe, folks getting off work, New Orleanians chilling out. It is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. This is the one you could shoot video, take photos of, and show the rest of the world. A Mid-City mainstay, Katie's in Mid-City. And over in Harahan is Bienvenue, which is the Katie's of Harahan. Bringing a little mid-city New Orleans Katie's flavor to Hickory Avenue. Yeah, check it out, Bienvenue. And everybody knows about Katie's in Mid-City. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon, 93.9 FM New Orleans, 107.9 FM New Orleans, 600 AM New Orleans. Yeah, you're right. Lots of ways to check us out on the radio. What's that, Blue Boy? I can't hear you, buddy. I see you pointing with your head towards the television set. What about the TV? You can check out the radio program on television. Okay, buddy, I hear you. What? Cox Channel 4 all over Louisiana. Spectrum Channel 333. Don't forget to tell folks about YouTube. 5 o'clock Pow Hours next. Legal ID already did it. Blue Boy, you save the show every day. Stick around. Blue Boy's right. Don't move.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. Service, total maintenance keeps you cool. No AC.com, no cool spots.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix-fixe meals, $25 or less for lunch, and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans' grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Good time. Anytime you need a payment. Good time.
Good times.
Temporary layoffs. Good times.
Easy credit ripoffs.
Good times. Scratching and
surviving. See, now I thought that line was hanging in a toilet, but it's apparently something else. Doesn't it sound like hanging in a toilet, Jason? It's something else, though. Sadly, I'm going to make you look up the lyrics for Good Times. It sounds like hanging in a toilet, but I forgot what it is. I forgot. You know, that song Ebony Eyes, my buddy always thought it was Avenue 9, you know. There's a lot of that going around. Avenue 9. No, dude, it's Ebony Eyes. Another friend of mine thought it was Section H housing, not Section 8. Section H. You know. Hanging in a toilet, what is it? Temporary layoffs, easy credit ripoffs, scratching and surviving, hanging in and jiving, hanging in a toilet. Yeah, it sounds like hanging in a toilet, but it's what and jiving? Hanging in and jiving, hanging in a toilet, hanging in and jiving, hanging in a toilet, hanging in and jiving. I don't know how they get the jiving part. I say it's hanging in a toilet. The hell with the lyrics. Anyway, it is Good Times. Corey Johnson with you. Uh-oh. Call Jeff Dorson. Sorry. My bad, Jason. Putting Jason to work again. He's like, dude, I don't get paid to look up good time lyrics. Geesh. Hanging in a toilet. It is a Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock powwow coming your way. You found the program, Real Talk Radio, telling it like it is every day. No agendas. You know, I check out other programs for a few minutes. I'm not a big fan of anything locally, sadly. It's not one show. Oh my God, I got to listen to that. I love that host. Not one. Sad. We're like a radio desert. I heard one guy, a former disc jockey guy, the other day talking about we do our own shows. No one tells us what to do. Is the biggest joke. The exact opposite. Telling them exactly what to do. There's a guy I know, radio veteran. He was going to be doing a program on a station locally. And if you've seen the Howard Stern movie and the pig vomit character, Stern, I want you bringing me all your bits in advance for approval. So like everything you're doing had to be brought in advance for for approval. And this was going down at supposedly the station with this one cat saying, we never get told what to do. Now, this guy I know is supposed to do a radio program. Is going to have to bring in all his info before the show started for the producer to approve. I got hit with that one time. It stressed me out when it was going down. And then kind of in the middle of the meeting, I was like, I'm just not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have to get fired if that's the case. And then just lazy bosses with dopey ideas never followed up on it. And I got away with not having to do that. Plus, I was on at night after a legend. So they weren't worried about too much the nighttime program. I don't even think they have local nighttime programming on the station. But anyway, no one's wants to turn in their show sheet to some, body that thinks they're in radio, that's a supposed boss that has an agenda and isn't out for the best in radio or that station or anything, isn't creative enough, smart enough to have opinions on it, wants to tell you how to do a show. Please, you either know how to do it or you don't, It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's not easy. It's not anybody can do it, but it's not rocket science. And there's some folks that just don't get it. Now, I remember talking to a wise man about television and how do you know if like that person's good or not on TV? Like a news person, like a reporter or an anchor person. And that person that had a great eye for talent just said to me, "Can't you tell?" And that's pretty much it. There is no book or what you look for, just you can tell. It's like writing. This same person told me, you're born and you can write, or you can learn to write. I learned to write. I'm not a writer, but real writers naturally can just write, like artists. That's a talent they have. I learned to write. This person said, yeah, you can learn to write. You can write brochures. That's what he was basically saying. Like, anybody can learn to write just basic stuff that's grammatically correct. That's basically what I do. But I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I am a lover of animals. Love animals. I don't know how you don't. Now, you don't have to get a pet, but I kind of look at it sort of just like living a normal life. It's like racism, sexism, homophobia, all that. You don't have to go embrace women and black folks or white folks or homosexuals or whatever, but don't be against them. Don't be insecure and silly and inhumane and just mean-spirited and hate-filled and be against them. Just bad for your heart, bad for you. And you don't have to get a cat or a dog or a horse, but be for animals, be for humans, treating animals humanely. It's pretty simple. We do a terrible job of it in New Orleans and in Louisiana, a terrible job. That's why this guy, who's from like Indiana, came here like 35 years ago thinking he'd be down here fixing a little problem for a few weeks or so and be back in Indiana. And he's been here ever since. Talking about Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society of Louisiana, a true hero that takes a little bit of donation money from folks and stretches it beyond belief, saving lots of cats and dogs and kittens and puppies and goats and horses and raccoons and possums and all kind of animals, bunnies, whatever. Jeff Dorson joins us from the Humane Society on this Thursday. What up, Jeff?
Hey, Corey, always fun, a pleasure, a real honor to talk to a fellow person who cares about animals. It's not widely discussed. It's not a topic of conversation on most radio shows. So trust me, I'm grateful when you carve out time to talk about this. I think it's really important. Like, what's in our heart? Are we going to be cruel in life or kind? And that's an important question we all need to ask ourselves. Where do we stand on this?
Yep. No, I got 2 dogs. I got 2 cats. I got the legal limit for animals. Right. I love the men and cat thing. Like, a cat's a feminine thing. It's for a girl. It's not for a man. It's like, hey, guys, the dog, which I love equal to the cats, totally dependent on us. If we let the dogs out and humans disappeared, they'd die. The cats are predators. They're basically wild animals that we've sort of pseudo-domesticated. They're independent. They're like Mike the tiger, the wild animal. They're like that on a small scale. They still want to hunt. They still want to, bring you a mouse or some animal they caught or something. So, I mean, it's like, no offense, guys, you got it backwards. The softy, the feminine type thing is the dog, the one that needs our help and constant attention. And you got to walk it. And if you leave it alone, it could die. The cat is a badass that is independent and does its own thing. It's comical how it's reversed, but cats aren't macho. I got 2 cats, so the hell with all that.
Well, I'm still glad you make time for this type of topic. It's important, and I'm grateful that you care and that you care enough to let me talk about it for a few minutes every single week for weeks and decades. So hats off to you for making time for something that's important to both of us. I appreciate that a lot.
How about that absolutely crazy story I sent you in Virginia? Nearly 4,000 beagles rescued from a facility. 4,000, Jeff. That's just overwhelming, brother.
It is very unusual. I think the Department of Justice or the USDA, very unusual for them to take that kind of enforcement, aggressive action against a laboratory, because they're regulated by by all these agencies, and they kind of look the other way and they kind of like let things pass.
Yep.
Somehow this went the other direction. So I'm very grateful whenever an agency tasked with enforcement actually does their job.
Yeah, they're spaying and neutering them, getting up to health, giving them all their shots, getting them healthy, and then adopting them out, spreading them out all around the country. These 4,000 beagles, it ends up being a really great story. That's exactly what Jeff does. Hey, Jeff, hang on. I'm going to knock out a quick break. We're going to come right back to you. By the way, you can check out Jeff's website while we're in this break, humanela.org, or on Facebook, Humane Society of Louisiana. Coming right back.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Hey, Rouse's Markets, over 60 Rouses And they've been at it for over 60 years. South Louisiana, New Orleans grocery store. They got everything you need at every Rouse's, and they're there for you. The latest any Rouse's opens, 7 a.m. Some are open at like 6 a.m., 6:30. The earliest any Rouse's markets close, 10 p.m. Some are open later, like 11 or midnight. Rouse's Market, best quality, best price, best selection. Tastes like home. Rouse's Market. In your neighborhood or right next door to your neighborhood. Free delivery right to your door, Rouse's Markets. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Jeff Dorson's with us from the Humane Society of Louisiana. Hey, Jeff, what's going on in your world with the Humane Society? And by the way, folks can check them out online at humanela.org and donate online at humanela.org. What do you need, man? What's going on?
Well, I just got back from Franklinton. We had a great meeting with Washington elected officials and the sheriff's office representatives. We were trying to start an animal welfare task force that would support the sheriff's office. They're always getting calls, and it's not always criminal. It's just like people need resources. So a gentleman had a great idea. What happens if we tag along or go independently on these calls? They get hundreds a week or a month. And we try to figure out, help the pet owner what they need to get in compliance if they're missing a shelter or if their fence is down or they're short on food. So it's really an interesting concept of what would it be like if a group of us just started sharing resources with those that need it the most. I like the idea. I'm going to be a part of it and do what we can. And if it works, we'll try it in other parishes.
I just heard your dog say, Daddy, don't shut that door because I'm on the program, because you're on the program. Don't shut that door on me.
That's exactly what's happened. I'm trying to find a secluded area, and I can't because they keep following me and barking.
I don't
Thanks
mind.
for understanding.
I think it's good radio. Let them bark. Let them bark. What the hell?
So that was my afternoon. Can we work closer with law enforcement so that we provide resources to those who need it? And then if they, if it's egregious, if they really are mistreating the animals, well, then bring out the handcuffs. But sometimes it's just that they're short and we want to help them.
And that's like north of St. Tammany, Washington Parish, you said, like Bogalusa, that area.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly right. They don't have parish-wide animal control.
That's
so
crazy.
It falls on the sheriff, and they don't necessarily want to respond to all these calls.
And that's a total rural area. It's north of the North Shore. It's not Metro New Orleans. It is country. Yep. No, you can't have dogs chained up and no shelter and no water and no shots and no, flea medication and no, heartworm medication. You can't have that.
And it does cost money. There's no doubt about it. And all we see is people cutting corners, and that just leads to animals going without. So it costs at least $1,000 an animal if you do it right, far less if you do it wrong. So, and we're seeing, Corey, just this inflation as people are using it sort of as an excuse. More drop-offs, more abandonments, more owner surrenders than I ever dreamed of. I must get 5 to 10 calls a day saying, come pick up my dog. I don't want it. I can't afford it. It's like, come on, people. We can do better than this.
And what do you do?
Well, we try to ask them what is going on. What's the reason behind this? And, it's usually, sometimes it's complicated. The landlord has a new lease. Somebody in the family doesn't get along with the dog. The dog nipped his neighbor. Each one is different. So we try to resolve, how can we keep your dog as part of your family? So we do a lot of that kind of retention work. Can we make this work? Because there's no homes for your dog.
Yeah, let me ask you a kind of
a magic wand. There isn't.
What about a dog? I have a friend who's not a super animal person, but he's trying to be. Family had a dog for like 3 months. And this dog literally attacked him where he had stitches. It messed up his arm and his hand.
Oh, my God.
They got rid of the dog. And he ended up getting another dog. And he showed me pictures of that dog. one part of me's kind of torn on it, and then another part of me's like, I don't know, maybe, not every animal is sane. Maybe, I don't know. We don't discard an insane person though, so I don't know how you handle that.
Each case is different, and you do the best you can, and you try to allow for the personality of the dog to change over time, make him comfortable, bond with the family. It takes months. Can I ask what happened to the original aggressive dog? Some dogs aren't meant to be.
Yeah, I think it went to like some relative that lives out in the country that's single and has time to deal with this kind of crazy dog.
Okay, it happens.
Yep.
So, but that's what we're up to, trying to help law enforcement and try to help pets stay with their original family so that they don't end up homeless and on the streets and tied up to trees and street corners. We're seeing it all. More than I've ever seen.
How do you keep your you-know-what together, Jeff, when you're trying to save a cat or a dog and it is totally against you and it is attacking you and it wants to bite you and claw you and wants to have nothing to do with you, and it's continuously doing it no matter what you do? How do you keep your cool and not be like, the hell with this animal?
Well, sometimes you have to make a tough choice. If the animal can't be socialized, then what's the point? It's a public safety issue, public health. Who wants to be bit and go to the hospital? Who wants to be torn up and mauled? So if the dog isn't meant to be with the family, then it shouldn't be. And we recommend euthanasia in the most aggressive cases. They can't be trained sometimes. So it's just welcome to life. It's a tough choice, and you got to live with it.
Jeff Dorson's with us with the Humane Society of Louisiana. Hey, Jeff, donations, people donating their time. Sounds like you need folks up on Washington Parish that can donate their time to assist these sheriffs on these calls.
Yeah, we always want volunteers. You got a certain skill set, we'll put you to work. You got extra cat food or dog food, give us a call. 1-888-6-HUMANE. You want to learn how to rehabilitate wildlife, we can put you in touch. We can help you get a license. We try to help, it's a holistic approach. Every animal deserves something, so let's try and do our best to provide. So please stay in touch with us. And Corey, thanks to you, virtually every time I'm on the show, somebody donates. So if that could be you listening, we invite you to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Last week was 100, and we're ever so grateful for that.
The phone number is 888-6-HUMANE if you need help or assistance, 888-6-HUMANE. Their website's humanela.org, humanela.org. Go to the website right now and donate generously. Jeff, always a pleasure. Anything else until next time?
We wrapped it up. Always a pleasure, and I'll call again next week. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Thanks, brother. That's Jeff Dorson. If you go to Facebook, they really keep it up. Do a good job. Humane Society of Louisiana on Facebook. Constantly updating what they do. You can see the past stuff they've done. No, it's amazing. I mean, I talked about Jeff, like dealing with an animal. It's just aggressive. Also, just the heartbreaking stuff. People dropping off their animal, neglecting their animal, not treating their animal humanely. It's heartbreaking. No, they do very great things that a lot of folks just don't want to know about or hear about. If that's you, just donate money, because I promise you they're doing great things with that money. Like 96 cents, 97 cents of every dollar going to those cats and dogs, kittens and puppies. Donate online, humanela.org, humanela.org. Boy, if it stops raining, you can slap some paint on that house, or you can knock out the interior while it's raining. Helm Paint and Decorating's got everything you need to take on that painting project. 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, including their newest on the Best Bank, Stumpf at West Bank Expressway, New Orleans, Metairie, Kenner, Mandeville, Hammond. 7 locations, plus free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, do it once, do it right. Let them steer you in the right direction. You go to Helm Paint and Decorating, just like I did. I talked the talk, I walked the walk. Got my guys to take the aluminum siding off my house. Painted the entire exterior of my house. Looks fantastic. I live in a home now. My buddy used to say I lived in a Jim Walters home. He's like, dude, you've got a big yard. Why don't you drop the wheels and roll your house back a few feet? I'm like, geez. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? The aluminum siding, he's kind of right. Just didn't really look good. And I had high quality, if it makes any sense, aluminum siding, Alcoa, good stuff, looked like weatherboards. But I was like, power wash this again or do what I really want to do, rip it all off and paint my house. And that's what I did. Got all the paint, all the supplies, everything from boxes and boxes of caulk to the primer to the Regal Select paint, Helm Paint and Decorating. They'll take care of you just like they took care of me. Helm Paint and Decorating. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. We just finished up a little TV audience. See you mañana. 4 to 5:30 on Cox Channel 4 every weekday. 4 to 5:30 on Spectrum Channel 333 every weekday. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube. Yeah, you're right. We're on YouTube. Click to subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. A sick video, this ATV chase. Plaquemines Parish Sheriff deputies chasing these two ATV riders, illegally riding the ATV. One of them, 18-year-old Reginald Hamilton, ran over Edmund Fisher, a sheriff's deputy. And it's amazing. Hamilton's family acts as if he's the victim. Not a lot of facts, not a lot of information. He's been in jail since the incident. Yeah, he may never get out of jail. Not for a long time. Does he deserve to get out of jail? Mom's like, all he wanted to do was come home. I know, but he was on an ATV illegally, riding around with his friend. The friend is Blanchard. See the first name, if I can even read my writing. Anyway, something Blanchard and Reginald Hamilton tooling around illegally on ATVs. They hit that bridge that takes you from Algiers to like the Belchase side of Algiers, English Turn side, going over the Intracoastal Waterway. And they were coming, I guess, from Belchase, pursued by Belchase cops, got on that bridge, and by Woodland, the cop had jumped out his car, blocking one lane, and was standing in the other lane, flailing his arms. And instead of the ATV going around him, just ran over the sheriff deputy, Edmund Fisher. So, no, it's hard to have a lot of empathy or sympathy for 18-year-old Reginald Hamilton, who is just trying to get home and is locked up still. He's riding an ATV on the street illegally. When police approach him because he's driving illegally, he flees from police. So one crime, now a second crime, and then runs from police, high-speed chase, just adding crime, just stacking them on top of each other, and then runs over a sheriff deputy. Yeah, Mom, I get it. You want your 18-year-old son home, but the ATV thing, just breaking the law, for most folks, it'd be like, as a parent, it's like, how does he have an ATV? What's he doing with the ATV? It's illegal to ride it in the city, so it shouldn't be on the city. Put it on a trailer, bring it out to the country. I don't know what to tell you. You're the mom. So you know he's got this thing. You know he's riding it illegally. Then he's being pursued by police and he runs from them. I mean, just that the snowball just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's soon going from like a marble to basketball size to, size of a Volkswagen Bug to an avalanche that takes out the village. He runs over a sheriff deputy at high speed, almost killing him. So no, I don't know why Reginald Hamilton, why there's any rush to get him home. Sort of the opposite. Breaking the law, riding the ATV, fleeing from police, running over a cop. At least 3 crimes I can think of, and I'm not some legal expert or policeman. There's probably a bunch more. No, it's hard to have empathy with the family. I'm sad that this kid's like this and running around in the ATV and 18 years old and doing all this dopey stuff, but I don't like that. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for it. Society's not fair, and I'm not making fun of that. But I got to look at what went down, and 3 major things: illegally riding the ATV, fleeing from police, running over a policeman while the policeman's not vehicle to vehicle, the ATV running over the cop standing out on the street, running him over. Now, those are 3 things that just sort of jump out at me where I'm more worried about Edmund Fisher and the Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Department and their deputies than Hamilton and Blanchard and their illegal ATV riding and fleeing from the cops and endangering people on the road and running over a policeman. If you're going to run over a cop, you're going to run over civilians, no problem, right? To get away so you're safe. Just no thinking about actions and consequences. No thinking about just reacting, no thought, strictly emotional. And then if it is logical, it's don't want to lose street cred or got to prove it to, my homies, whatever. It's like there's going to be some conclusion to this. There's going to be some kind of reaction to your actions. There's going to be consequences. But I don't know, maybe 18-year-old Reginald Hamilton is super smart and just made a major mistake, or maybe he thinks like a child and doesn't understand, circumstances that there's consequences to your actions. There are consequences to your emotional reactions. Hey, Fury's Restaurant is open till 9 p.m. tonight. Have you been to Fury's? What are you waiting for? The local place that you probably go to and you think you're eating local fresh seafood, I hate to tell you, you're probably not. It's probably frozen or it's from out of state or even out of the country. And the excuses folks make, man, if I brought in speckled trout, do you know how much it would cost? If I used Louisiana crab meat, do you know how much it would cost? If I used Louisiana crawfish, they're 3 times the cost of Chinese crawfish. Wouldn't be able to have this dish. Fury's won't have the dish then. They won't serve it. Fresh, local seafood exclusively at Fury's. You know the drill. Start with some gumbo. Start with some onion rings. Fresh, local seafood. Open till 9 p.m. So good. Don't forget Fury's Restaurant tonight in Metairie. You won't be disappointed. Attorney General Merrick Garland. This is pretty strong. Personally approved of the search warrant for Mar-a-Lago and Trump. Attorney General Merrick Garland, because Trump's confirmation of the search, or as Trump calls it, a raid, and maybe it was. We'll find out. That's the beautiful thing. Merrick Garland says substantial public interest in the matter, along with Trump's confirmation of the search. He said the Justice Department has asked that the Mar-a-Lago search warrant be unsealed so the public can see exactly why Merrick Garland approved of that search warrant and why the FBI searched the Mar-a-Lago residence of Donald Trump. Now, you can be a proponent of Donald Trump. I don't really see that as a problem that like a lot of liberals and Democrats do, because a lot of liberals and Democrats strictly look at Donald Trump as a disgusting human being, a terrible, low-life human being, no morals, ethics, integrity. How can you side with that guy? But they don't look at themselves, and it's not so much equal and opposite of Trump. Some might say they are, but it's the Democrats are just ineffective, splintered. There's no one you want to hook your wagon to. That's just my thought. I'm a registered independent. I try to look at all this fairly and objectively because I don't care or not care about Democrats or Republicans. I want them both to be viable. I'd like them to work together. But if you just look at this, you have an attorney general who wants the search warrant to be unsealed so everyone in America can see it. And they'll see why he signed it. And maybe it is totally erroneous. And maybe it is politically based and motivated, and Garland and the search warrant has no merit. The way he aggressively wants everyone to see it, and knowing Donald Trump, Republican or not, liberal or Democrat or not, I'm already acknowledging, I hear you. You're a conservative voter. How are you going to vote Democrat? Doesn't matter who the candidate is. You're voting that candidate over the Democrats. I hear you. I get it. You're a conservative, hardcore. You don't vote Democrat. I get it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying when I'm accepting that, except the fact that Trump is obnoxious and he is, ridiculous. And he is full of you-know-what. And he easily could have taken stuff he's not supposed to take as president and bring it to Mar-a-Lago and hope no one notices. And then when they do, complain about it and say it was a raid when it was a search. I mean, that's my inclination when I see the attorney general very proactively going, let the search warrant be out there. Let everyone see it. Let them decide if I was, correct in approving that search warrant. And is the FBI justified, or there's some broken hack organization that needs to be, disassembled? There's a lot of crazy, especially on social media. Just, I talk about wacky right-wingers. I talk about lunatic left. These people don't think kind of clearly. They're sort of anti-American. They think they're right and everyone else is wrong. They think their ideology exclusively, everything implemented, the world would be fantastic. And nothing the other side offers is worthy. It's just, it's mind-blowing and boggling. And those folks kind of scare me, to be honest with you. They're the folks that attack the Capitol, or armed in Charlottesville and run people over, or are in Portland and Seattle and take over a part of the town, or burn down public or private buildings, or block the interstate, or attack the police because their message is so important and it must be heard. Those extremists on the left and right scare me a little bit. And I've seen both sides armed now. Lunatic left and, of course, wacky right, these militia types on both sides now. The stuff that's available, from helmets to vests to the weapons and ammunition, hard to tell the good guys from the bad guys when you see them on the street. I mean, a lot of these lunatic left and wacky right militia types they look like law enforcement. They're carrying military type weapons. They've got on helmets and face masks, protective gear, vests that, bullets can't penetrate. Some bullets can't penetrate. Ready for war. And then when that's like you're posting, where America's going, I'm ready for war, we're ready to attack us, that kind of mentality, those people need to be monitored, looked at. They scare the hell out of me. Bunch of lunatics, like not thinking right by definition, not clarity of thinking, the brain not working properly. I talk about New Orleanians that hold back the city, and they think they're the most righteous New Orleanians. It's for New Orleans. No, it's selfish. It's a little kooky. These folks, like, what's right for America? I'm the biggest patriot. I know what America's supposed to be like. Those folks worry me a lot. And they're armed on the left and right, the extremists. Scary. It's pretty scary. It's not scary. It's just a bummer. I guess it's scary if you don't know what you're going to do. I'm talking about getting home right now and your AC's not working right. Is the house going to be a sweatbox this afternoon and tonight? You're going to sleep in the heat? You're going to have to go rent a hotel room, go to the in-laws? Or you're going to call Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance? Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. What more do you need in an AC operation? I want honest folks, incapable of screwing me around. I want air conditioning experts, not guessing what's the problem, but fixing the problem. And I want folks that come immediately. A couple of months ago, I left the house, AC working great in the morning. Come back around 11:30 in the morning, it's 84 degrees in my house. Temperature rising, 86, 88. Called Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning experts. They came immediately. Within a few hours, the AC's blowing cold again. If your AC is not working right, or worse, not working at all, no pun intended. Don't stress out. Don't sweat. Call Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. They'll come immediately. 841-3300. Easy number to remember. 841-3300. Even easier website to remember. NOLAAC.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Find decadent dining deals as part of Culinary New Orleans, August 1st through 31st. Treat yourself to prix meals, $25 or less for lunch and $45 or less for dinner and brunch. Visit culinaryneworleans.com and make your reservation today.
Every day, this program on radio, television, YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and more. Yeah, the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the corner, right on the price, the car corner, I-10 and Williams. The big store, Lamarck Ford, number one in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, number one in the region. Over $50 million invested. You think Ronnie would have just settled down in his early 70s now after that, but he doesn't stop. Now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Harahan. Legendary Crescent City Ford is now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. In Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway at Horde, right before Hickory, you know where. So you've got a couple of Ford dealerships under the Lamarck banner, one out by the lake in Kenner and one out by the river in Harahan. Yeah, Lamarck Crescent City Ford, and of course the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and the brand new Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood in Harahan. Yeah, you right. Thanks for joining us. Radio 93.9 FM, YouTube, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Yeah, you right. A New Orleans second city court deputy, that's an Algiers court deputy, suspended without pay for not leaving his French Quarter detail to assist the woman who was getting raped. Well, to assist the woman who was talking about a woman a half block away getting raped. Please help. There's a woman getting raped right down the street. And this New Orleans second city court deputy did not intervene at all. Has been suspended without pay. I think not a deputy anymore. Your job is you're sworn law enforcement to protect the public. You just totally blew off protecting the public. And this wasn't just some minor crime. Murder, rape, as bad as it gets, and you ignored your duty. So you're not fit to be a sheriff deputy. I don't care if it's city court. Carrying a gun, you got a badge, you're sworn law enforcement. Don't go do details if you're not going to do law enforcement work. So that's pathetic. Suspended without pay is a no-brainer. Not being a sheriff anymore, a sheriff deputy is next. And then I think some jail time. I think it's criminal. Civilians, I guess, have the luxury of not having to respond. I don't think a law enforcement person has that luxury. These Uvalde cops, the hand sanitizer sitting around, waiting. I think there's a lot of criminal behavior right there. A civilian not rushing in, that's a different story. A school teacher not diving on the arm, God, that's a different story. Law enforcement, that's what you're sworn to do. You don't want to do it? You think it's going to be an easy ride all the time? Then don't get involved. Don't join the military if you think you're just going to dig foxholes over the weekend and then war breaks out and you're all bummed out you got to go to war. Don't join the military. The real stuff could happen. Don't lifeguard the pool if you aren't trained. Someone could drown. You may have to pull them out 1 out of 1,000 times watching the pool. Again, don't be even city court deputy on detail if you're not going to assist the public when a crime is going down and it's a woman getting raped. No, suspended without pay, that's the first thing, and that happened. That's smart. No longer a deputy is the next move, and then figure out what criminal charge can be brought upon that person. Unbelievable. Hey, you're on the Causeway right now. Trey Yen in Mandeville. Call them and get a to-go order. Pick it up right in front. Curbside delivery. Mom, dad, the kids, they'll be fired up to have some big Trey Yen order for dinner tonight. Don't forget the Tung Cho sauce. That phone number at Trey Yen, you know the area code 985 626 4476. 626 4476. Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm.